Damian Lillard has finally requested a trade. He has finally requested a trade from the Portland Trailblazers. He's done from the grind. He's leaving Portland. He wants out. He wants to win. It's about damn time. God damn. It's about damn time. I think Damian Lillard is too high, too great of a talent, of a basketball talent, to be wasting his time on a franchise that never really truly built a championship contender for him. And moving forward, it's looking like their best chances are past them. You know what I'm saying? Damian Lillard is also 33 years old. He's not going to be playing like, you know, Dame Dollar forever. His time's running out. And for him to say he never actually had a chance to win a championship, like for real, be on a championship contender, I think, you know, I think it would have been sad for the game. I hate situations like KG in Minnesota. I hate situations like AD on the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's get it. Where shout out to RJ for the $5, where they spent a majority of their young career playing, number one, great basketball, but two, in non-winning situations. You know what I'm saying? We miss a lot of great basketball in the playoffs, and just wasted talent, bro. Wasted talent. So I'm really happy that Dame is going in the direction that'll help his career in that regard. Let's see Dame on a championship contender, bro. I think this is going to be fun regardless of where he goes. Obviously, I have my preference. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy for Dame overall. I'm happy for Dame. You know? I appreciate the loyalty that he gave the Portland Trailblazers fan base. I think the level of loyalty that he showed for Portland, the level of love that he showed for the city of Portland and the Trailblazer franchise is very rare now. It's very rare now. The only time you really see that shit is in situations where the franchise that the player was drafted in was able to build championship contenders around them. And I hate this whole narrative that, like, yo, you know, Dame ran from the grind. There's no more real superstars left. Or like motherfuckers are talking about like, yo, Curry's the only real superstar left that never ran from the grind. Number one, Jokic and Giannis are there. Number two, the only reason Steph Curry has never really been in trade conversations is because by the time bro was 26, he already had a championship contender. You know what I'm saying? He was the MVP of the league. He was arguably the face of the league for a couple of years. Why would he leave? Why would he leave? But for Dame, you know, that was never the case. That was never the case. Shout out to Corona Firm for becoming a part of SLZ. But yeah, you know, it was never the case. They never truly built a championship contender around him. So to say that Dame was not loyal just because, what is this, 10 years into his career, he decides he wants out after giving it his all to the city and to the franchise, you know, I think that's unfair to Dame. However, y'all know with me, there's always a however. There always is a however with me. Because I think things are not so black and white all the time. There's gray areas. Most of life is gray areas. You see what I'm saying? People want to talk about the red and blue pill. What about the purple pill? You know? No one ever talks about the purple pill. Type shit. Okay, I don't need the music to go that extreme. But I did pose this question on the timeline. And it got a shit ton of engagement. Let me go ahead and find that tweet. Shit got like 20,000 likes, bro. Like, that shit was nuts. Go and find that tweet right now. We're almost there. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read the super chats in a minute. Let me just get the segment off. Here's a tweet right here. Let's get it. Shot the Great Warrior for the $5. Jeremy Grant making as much as Tatum next year. No wonder why. Dame said peace. So on June 27, Brian Windhorst reported that Damian Lillard hasn't requested a trade and plans to wait around to see what Portland does in free agency. Now, what they actually did in free agency was sign Jeremy Grant to like a max deal. What is it, like $180 million? Something crazy. There were also rumors around Draymond Green going to Portland, but that never came about. And I just quote retweeted it, 160 million. Okay, 160 million. And I just quote retweeted this tweet with a simple question. Obviously, there's a little bit. I'm not oblivious to what I do on social media. There is something a little bit implied here. I ask, at what point does this become selfish? At what point does what Damian Lillard and everything that he's doing become selfish? Because to me, I think there is a point where it becomes selfish, right? I understand why he's doing the things that he's doing. Again, given the context of what I just said, he's given his all to the franchise. He deserves a shot to win. Most Trailblazers fans are actually fine with him moving on. You know? They've accepted that the Dame era is over. Scoot Henderson is right there. We got some young pieces on the squad. A new era of Trailblazer basketball is on pace to be born. So, for the most part, I will say it is not selfish for Dame to be doing what he's doing. But I think there is a line. Of just trying to control your way out, trying to control how you get out. You know what I'm saying? I think there is a line. And for Damian Lillard to say that he's not going to request a trade until he sees what Portland does in free agency, it's giving a little selfish. I'm not going to lie. It's giving a little selfish. And it's fine to be selfish. I think there is a negative connotation with how I phrase this tweet. It's fine to be selfish. I think, the discussion is about just acknowledging if it is selfish or not. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, the reason why I would argue that this is selfish, and also there were reports, I think that came out today that Dame, I ain't gonna lie, he might force his way to Miami. I know Portland is trying to look at offers beyond the Miami Heat. But this motherfucker might say I'm not playing for anyone else. Y'all better trade me to Miami or else. The reason why I say this is selfish is because if you really want the best for the Portland Trailblazers franchise, why not put them in the best position to get the best return? You know what I'm saying? If you want the best for the Portland Trailblazers franchise, why are you waiting to see what they do in free agency before making a decision? So in the offseason, what if they made all of these moves to try to win now, but because Dame is just waiting until he sees everything play out and he doesn't like what he sees, now he can just move on because he didn't like what he saw? At that point, I feel like that's selfish. But that's fine. But I just think at that point that's selfish. I would personally if I was in that situation, if I know that I want to leave, and realistically speaking, them signing Jeremy Grant is not going to be enough for me to stay with the franchise, bro, I'm asking out. All right? I'm done. I'm fully committing to wanting out of Portland. I'm not going to hold y'all up. I'm going to give you guys a clear direction. I want out. So don't try to spend a shit ton of money on free agency to try to win now. Build around Scoot Henderson. Build around Shaden Sharp. Build around Shaden Sharp. Build around Anthony Simons. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Again, I know there's a negative connotation with saying that Dame has been selfish, or like the shit that he's been doing is selfish. But I just feel like at some point, like, yo, you gotta let Portland move on, like fully move on. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I say this is not to take the blame away from the franchise whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not. You know, the Portland Trailblazers, they are a team that has not surrounded Damian Lillard with championship pieces. You know? Like I've been saying. That's not what this franchise is. But let me see what chat has to say, though. Let me see what chat has to say. Because low-key, I just lost my train of thought. Legend Gark says, bro, I get that it's selfish, but his team has been even more selfish. How would you say that? Are you saying that them drafting Scoot was a selfish decision? Let's see. If they wanted to move on, they should have traded him or not signed the deal. Traded him or not signed the deal. I mean, when did they sign the deal? Like in 2019? And this is essentially what I'm saying. This is essentially what I'm saying right here. Both parties are at fault. Like, I'm not trying to take all the accountability away from Dame. I'm not trying to say Damian Lillard is this extremely toxic player and he's being a diva and this, that, and the third. But I think it's a give and take. And that's why, when I introduced the segment, I wanted to talk about the gray area. Is because I think, for the most part, and I know Chad is already saying, nah, B-Souls are bugging. I literally said, before I said what I said, that for the most part, this is not a selfish move. And even if it is selfish, like, it's fine to be selfish one time in your career after all that they've done. It's just, at some point, like, let's recognize that he's been a little bit too selfish. All right? He's kind of sabotaging the Portland Trailblazers and their shot to, move on from Dame. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I can't be mad at Dame and Beal for finessing billionaires, but the facade of it being competitive is what blows me. Facade of being what competitive? Let's see. B-Souls, man, I just want to see Dame cook and be on a contending team for once. Me too. Listen, I'm on the same page as y'all, man. I am on the same page as y'all. I want to see Damian Lillard in a winning situation. I want to see what Dame can do with the right pieces around him for once in his career. Because if y'all have been watching the Souls and Sage videos, I've actually been really high on Damian Lillard for the last year or so. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Damian Lillard as a talent gets overlooked in a lot of all-time discussions because he's been in a position where, he hasn't been able to win. Winning bias does exist within these conversations. But if you just look at the talent that is Damian Lillard, I love Dame's game. You know what I'm saying? I think right now, unless we want to discard the big, unless you want to count, the big guards like Luka and LeBron and motherfuckers like that, and if you want to think of Jokic as a point guard, I think when it comes to, the traditional 6'4" and under point guard, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and maybe I'm blanking on names right now, everyone else. And let me clarify that too. I did not say that Dame and Steph are on the same level. Steph is right here, right? Dame is right here, clearly. And then everyone else is, below them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think a lot of people thought I had, crazy smoke for Damian Lillard, and I was just going to call him out of his name, but Gabe Vincent, Jesus Christ. Steph plays team ball. Dame doesn't. I don't think Dame has been in situations where he can just play off ball like that. Let me go ahead and read the replies from this tweet, though. As he said over and over again that he's staying in Portland. There's no story. The media just brings it up for no reason. If they wanted to trade Dame, they could. It's been that way for a long time now. In reality, Portland hasn't had... I think it's just important to recognize like what being selfish means. Being selfish means you're putting the betterment of your situation over everything else, regardless of the repercussions. You know what I'm saying? Dame is using as much leverage as he can to go to the destination that he wants to go to, regardless of what the fuck happens to the Portland Trailblazers. You know what I'm saying? Is that not what he's doing? And if that's not what he's doing, especially given the fact that he's doing it in a way that's literally like tanking his value artificially, then how is Dame not being selfish? In this regard, in this situation, I don't know enough about Dame, and even from what I know of his career, I can't say Dame is a selfish person. But just in this regard, I feel like Dame's being a little selfish, man. He's selfish, but he's earned that type shit. If that's how you feel.